Hello there beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Ura, and on this channel I share my experiences as a foreigner living in China. In today's video, I will share the top 10 things that shocked me the most about China. So the first thing was the population size. When I first arrived in China, I lived in Beijing, and Beijing is the capital city of China, and it has a population of 21 million people. That's way more people than my entire home country. So when I arrived here, I didn't expect it to be so crowded. It's one thing reading about it in the news that China has a population of 1.4 billion people than experiencing it. The subways are always packed, the buses are always packed, the sidewalks are always packed with people. It's just really overwhelming, and when you get here you're like, oh my god, why are there so many people? Second thing that shocked me was the subway system in China. So like I mentioned before, I first lived in Beijing for a couple of months, and the Beijing subway has 24 different lines and about 428 different stops. So you can imagine how overwhelming that can be. I remember when I first got here trying to get around, and I was looking at the map and I couldn't wrap my head around how I was going to be able to navigate the subway line. Just to put a number to how overwhelming it is being on the subway in Beijing, Beijing has at least 13 million daily riders.
What?
So can you imagine how many people would be getting on and off the subway? And it's always really packed, especially at the peak hour. And if you're a foreigner like me, you have to be prepared for point number 3, the cultural curiosity. Everywhere you go, people will most likely stare and point at you because you look different. Chinese people are very curious about foreigners. Most of them have never seen anyone that looks like you before, and it's just like a thing for them. Oh, look at that, black person, oh my god, I saw a black person today. Really? And it can be very overwhelming, but with time I guess you can kind of get used to it. With time you just learn to ignore it. Some of them will ask to take pictures, some of them will not, some of them will just, pull out their phone. You're sitting on the subway, minding your own business, and then there's someone taking pictures of you without even asking. I remember one incident when I was still in Beijing. I got into the bus and I was paying my fee, and when I looked up to go find a seat, everyone had pulled out their phones. People were standing up. They were all just staring, holding their phones, and it was so awkward because there was no space and I had to go sit right at the back, so I had to pass everybody. And I just sat down and I was like, okay, wow. The fourth thing that shocked me about China was definitely the language. In my mind, when I got here, I thought that people who work in banks, people who work in supermarkets or airports were going to be able to communicate in English, and that wasn't the case. Most Chinese people, they only speak Mandarin, so it's very difficult to try and communicate. It's up to you to learn the language so you can get around easier, but you can download apps like Google Translate or Baidu Translate, where you can type in or speak in English and then it will translate to Chinese. So that's an easy way for you to communicate with the next person. Fifth thing that shocked me about China was censorship. If you don't already know, China has built a great firewall that blocks all westernized apps. So there is no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no Google, no YouTube, no Gmail. All those apps, they don't work in China. In order to access those apps, you need to download a VPN. And the mistake that I made before coming to China was I waited until I was in the country to start looking for a VPN. That makes your life really difficult, and I would recommend anyone planning on traveling to China, best thing to do, download your VPN and then catch a flight, come to China, and everything else will be smooth. Don't be like me. That brings us to point number 6, WeChat. WeChat is, in my opinion, the most important app to have on your phone if you're going to be living in China. WeChat is basically like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, all in one. What makes it so important is that it is also the main payment system. China has developed into a cashless economy. You use your WeChat to pay for everything, basically, and I'm not exaggerating. Your groceries, your taxi, your subway ride. If you want to book a plane ticket, you use your WeChat. If you want to book a ticket to go see a concert, you use your WeChat. WeChat is so crucial. 7th thing that shocked me is the spitting. Chinese people feel like it's better out than in. Like, they spit anywhere and everywhere, on the sidewalk, in a restaurant when they're eating, and it is very disturbing. They make this sound in their throat and you can hear the spit land on the ground like, what? What the It's definitely something that you have to get used to. I think eventually it becomes more like background noise. You don't like flinch as much as you did in the first couple of days. Next on my list of shocking things in China was definitely the toilets. The Chinese prefer squat toilets to the normal toilets that we're used to. So most public toilets are squat toilets, and you have to have your squat game. Your squat game has to be strong if you're going to have to use the bathroom, especially in a public area. And the reason why they prefer squat toilets to toilets with an actual seat is because it avoids contact with the seat, so less germs are transferred. Another thing, still on the point of toilets, that definitely surprised me is the fact that they don't normally flush their tissues after they're done with their business. There's usually a little bin on the side of the toilet where instead of you flushing the tissue, you throw it inside the bin. And I know, guys, it is really like gross and disturbing, but again, the reason why they do this is because they don't want to block their toilets. I don't know, with the way China is so well developed, I don't know why they don't fix their water system, their plumbing, because that is the reason why they say they don't flush. Number 9 on my list is smoking. China has the largest number of smokers in the world. A lot of people show their appreciation for you by giving you a cigarette, and as a sign of respect, you accept the cigarette. Even if you don't smoke, just accept the cigarette, put it in your bag. Maybe later, if you have a friend that smokes, you can give them the cigarette or even throw it away. They do take offense if you don't accept their token. I would advise you to always accept the cigarette. Finally, the last thing that shocked me about China is the cuisine. Definitely the cuisine. If you've watched some of my videos, you know that I'm always out there trying to explore different types of Chinese food, and I am definitely a fan of the Chinese food. Back home, I have had Chinese food, and when I came here, I thought, you know, I've tried ABC Chinese food, but trust me, the food you have outside of China is definitely nothing in comparison to what Chinese food actually tastes like. It's like a wide array of just different foods waiting for you to try out, and I think this is one of the best things about coming to China. You get to expand your palate. So I think the best part for me about moving to China is definitely the Chinese cuisine. So there you have it, beautiful people. Those are the 10 things that shocked me the most about China. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to your girl's channel. Hit that notifications bell so that you can be notified each time I post a video. Thank you so much guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Much love. Bye.